Hey. So, we're live, about to talk about Mucusless diet healing system. You know, same old, same old. So, the last time, well, my last story was about rice and what rice was used for, which was to build walls and bricks and
Ooh, nice.
Pretty much used as a cement.
Brick mortar.
Yeah. It's part of the Great Wall of China and other buildings.
Wow, look at us.
Yeah.
Looking good. Like it should.
You wanna come in closer?
Is that your hand or Zoe's hand? I mean, okay. We're back on?
Yeah.
Zoe's ended that life. Well, yeah, just to kind of pretty much talk about mucus forming foods, and we particularly are kind of just trying to subjugate this towards rice in this instance.
Yes.
And it's definitely a lot of levels to rice, I've seen a lot of raw foodists out there that have done black wild rice sprouted, and whatnot, and of course a brown rice. And I know Dr. Sebi's list, it says alkaline foods. I believe it says brown rice and wild rice and black rice and stuff like that, right? So I know, right? No rest for us, right? And yeah, pretty much rice is actually one of the most devastating foods to eat. Right? Yeah, rice is one of the most devastating foods to eat because it just creates a huge amount of mucus. I mean, rice has industrial uses. Okay, rice can be used to create a binding adhesive agent for many things, We're talking about like book binders and rice glue and like you said, brick mortar as well too, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, to elaborate on that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all this information you can definitely check out the Mucusless Diet Healing System book by Arnold Ehret, annotated, revised, and edited by Professor Spira. Hey.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, yeah, just, it's just so important, because I know a lot of people that are plant-based, foodists, alkaline vegans, raw vegans, some raw vegans, that still incorporate rice into their livid or their diet. We're going to call it, right? We call it livid because, diet eating and all that jazz, that's what we live in. And just that, I think people consider like brown, because, we went from the white rice, and we're healthier now, so we the brown rice, which is a healthier approach. Oh yeah! Wow, that was a good slap, though. A good claw slap.
Yeah, it was a claw.
Clop? It was a claw.
It's like
yeah. Anyways, yeah, and but brown rice, what up, Infinity Free Spirit? But brown rice, black rice, wild rice is still a mucus forming food. Even though it's on the studies list, we differ as well. We follow more of the Mucusless diet healing system list, Arnold Ehret's list, and we know Dr. Sebi as well too got a lot of this information from Arnold Ehret as well too, because Arnold Ehret was doing this in the late 1800s. He was doing this stuff. He's talking about he was shutting down raw foodism, fruitarianism, talking about a transitional livid, talking about rational fasting. I just ate fried vegan donuts, I'm gonna do a 28 water fast. No, that's not rational at all. It's talking about rational fasting. That's like doing a fast where you do for 2, 3, 4 days. And even before you even get to that point, you start preparing your food styles to clean you out more and prepare to transition into intermittent fast of 1, 2, 3 days on of no eating then 1, 2, 3, 4 days of eating, then back and forth. 2 days on, 1 day off. 2, 3 days on, 1 day off. Those days when you are eating, you're building back your body with some healthy, vital foods as well too. That's why we got prepare and transition into that kind of preparation of eating and fasting.
Okay.
And yeah, and just cause yeah, like rice.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Oh, Infinity Spirit. Wild rice is not better. Any rice at all is no good at all. We would definitely advocate instead of having for your main bed like prevalent stock in your meals like a better rice, have a better greens. A better chopped lettuce or arugula, spinach, some kind of spring mix or something, or something like that. Because that creates more of a grooming effect in the body, And the next thing too as well is that we don't necessarily follow the whole vitamin mineral theory and total silver and monatomic gold and sea moss and B12 and selenium and zinc, magnesium, phosphorus, all this kind of additive principle stuff. On the air says the body is an air gas engine, meaning the body is what, that term we always hear around, breatharian per se, okay? The body is breatharian. It runs on air pressure primarily. So when our engine is all gunked up, it's creating friction and creating less vitality in our bodies, So we're eating foods to clean our bodies out so it can breathe more and breathe deeper and create more air in the body. Because a lot of our vital organs right now, for a lot of us, are more on a decomposing state than rejuvenating state.
Yes.
So with our bodies so gunked up, our body can't even be in an alkaline state, because we know alkaline is a pH, and pH is potential hydrogen. Meaning like just potential of how much. Sorry, Zoe keeps slapping the thing and it's going off live. A lot of us, most of us, this whole society where we are right now, we're so gunked up. Oh, you don't think sea moss is good? Sea moss is good. It's just that it shouldn't be like the whole 92 minerals thing. The thing about metabolism and how our body breaks down. You see, a cow doesn't need sea moss. A cow just eats grass, or you see a goose just eats grass, and then so it takes that vital matter, okay, that vegetable or fruits, right? Because the first best one is fruits, then vegetables, right? It takes that, breaks it down into, as far as science terms, breaks it down to its atoms and molecules, per se, and then it reassembles to what the body needs. So our skin, our bones and teeth and hair and all that, we can build that from using fruits and vegetables primarily. So sea moss is good, but if you don't got sea moss, you can still be just as healthy without sea moss. Is what we're trying to say. You can eat cabbage and build your body up.
Yeah, exactly. You have to clean out what is a detriment to your body. Like I was saying with rice, for example, it being a cement, it blocks water from you receiving water, from you receiving nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
It
constipates.
Yes.
And it's blocking pH balance.
Mm-hmm.
Even B12 you mean a flower moon. B12 is actually a theory. If you read Professor Spear's book, he looked into the history of B12, and he has to definitely insinuate on, look at the history of protein. Look at it, like how it was brought about. Because we know this is from this is like a Europeanized, Western allopathic philosophy as well too, right? And as regard for B12 at least, for this case, his book Spirit Speaks talks about it, and he just throws it out of the park. It's crazy. But B12, pretty much, people in England were testing things on dogs, all right, for B12, right? AKA cyanocobalamin, that's what they call it, because they isolated this chemical and found cyanocobalamin and said, hey, this is what it is. We'll call it B12 complex, et cetera, et cetera. So these people would take live dogs, they'll take live dogs, okay, and they'll experiment on live dogs. They'll like cut his fist half and like touch his nerves and whatnot, or they'll stab it until it bleeds, until it's almost dead, and see what they can feed it, so for it'll stay alive. Okay, so an important matter to know as well too with a detox is that let's say our bodies are so filled up, right? So these dogs, one dog that got stabbed and bled out on purpose while still alive, you know. This is for the B12 theory, okay? Follow me here. One dog was bled and they fed it water. The other dog was bled and they fed it water with a mix of grain. The one that had a mix of grain lived. The one that had water died. The reason why, you know, it died transformed because the one that had just water was going through a greater elimination and detox than one that was fed water and grain. Oh, sorry. You know what? I think, my bad. That was, it wasn't bled out. It was starved. Those dogs were starved. You know, they're starved, you know? So those dogs that were starved, one was fed water only. One was fed the one water and mixed with grain. The one fed with water mixing grain, that one stayed alive. The one fed just water died. The reason why that one fed with just water died is because the elimination of all the filth inside the body. You know, like you ever see that like meme where it's like meat eater, then vegetarian, and it's a blood vessel, and inside the blood vessel's pipe is just full of gunk. All that gunk is getting loosened up when a body goes into a fasting state. You know, so if you're eating just fruits, that gunk is getting loosened up to get eliminated through the urine canal of the kidneys. Okay, so it's getting ready to get peed out. So until it gets peed out, so I mean that's your bloodstream, which is all here, which is like, you know, so if it's flowing around here and getting loosened up here, that can be headaches and whatnot, you know, and dizziness from getting up too fast and whatnot. You know, if it's around, you know, here, you can have loose teeth and whatnot if you go too extreme too fast. You know, if it's around here, it could be sinuses. You know, around, you know, ears, could be like earache or something like that. Or also, it could be it's also it's also loosening up that waste. It's also repoisoning our bloodstream and repoisoning our nervous system as well too, causing anxiety, you know, hyper anxiety, depression. It's causing, you know, fatigue, drowsiness, etc. You know, so pretty much back to that dog.
Anxiety.
Yeah,
that's all.
Anxiety.
Did you say that?
I think so, but yeah. So back to that dog that fed only water. The reason why that dog died and the one that drank water mixed with grain did not die, because the one that had just water, the filth inside was loosened up so fast and so much that it drowned in its own filth. You know, it was so obstructed that it's logged out. It was just done. It poisoned itself to death from eating poisonous foods. Okay? So when people, you know, die of a natural death, it's literally all the gunk inside them poisoned them so much that they died. So check anyone that had an autopsy. Eric talks about this well too. And open them up, and you'll see all this gunk and filth inside the colon and intestines and etc. too. It smells horrible, etc., etc. I mean, you know, even ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, they said they would open a pharaoh's body and see the organ and see how clean the organ was, and based on how clean the organ was, that would depict how good and pure and, you know, good their life was, pretty much. But yeah, so how can we support the body in eliminating the poison? Pretty much to support the body in eliminating its poison, we gotta do it slowly and gradually, you know. And of course, eating fruits like, you know, grapes, watermelon, cherries, berries, etc. You know, like lemons are more aggressive. Some fruits are more aggressive. Like there's like two approaches. You kind of slow it down, or go more aggressive and speed it up. You know, so we gotta work on this dial and work on the art of transition. And Dr. Robert Morris talks about that a lot too in his playlist and his YouTube channel, of the art of transitioning, you know? So pretty much eating fruit speeds it up, loosens it up, and then eating a salad slows it down, or nice green juice. And like, make sure you got leafy greens. Don't like juice like cucumbers only. Have leafy greens in there that really has, like, you know, or what we'll call the chlorophyll, to help slow down elimination and neutralize the acidity in the blood. Because when that debris gets loosened up as well too, it's acidic, right? And then when it's acidic, I mean, shoot, you can get boils and all that coming out and all that stuff like that. Because this is the detox symptoms, so detox is toxins, so these toxins coming out on his way, you're gonna be like just toxified, like some people. And Eric talks about how for a diagnosis to do a 2 or 3 day fast, and that will be a diagnosis to see holistically where you're at. Through those 2 or 3 days, you'll see, oh, okay, I got pain right here. Oh, I got a lot of fatigue. Or, oh, I got like headaches when I get settled too fast. Or, oh, I got runny nose. Or, oh, I got, super erratic emotions. Or, oh, this and that. Or, things come up. Things come up. But supporting the body elimination to, for the poison, just, eat fruits, more aggressive fruits to create more of an aggressive elimination would be like lemons. That's like the highest. It's like limes, lemons, the highest. That'll help dissolve most of that sticky residue that's stuck in our spongy organs, like our lungs and whatnot, our blood vessels, our lymphatic system, our kidneys, the whole body, our joints as well too, and all that. Then like apples and grapes and all that are less aggressive as well too. And avocados though, I know it's a fruit, but it's a fatty fruit, and fatty fruits are just actually congestants. They clog you up. Like our whole body is a huge piping system, and avocado it just clogs up your piping system, so it makes you less be able to breathe deeper into your whole body, because it just gunks you up. It gunks you up, like that's one like fruit I would definitely avoid as much as possible. But if you're already on it, slowly transition off of it, I know that's definitely an addictive fruit to have, I guess, for my scene. I know it's a prevalent salad item, especially lately. And back in the 1800s and whatnot, that wasn't even a thing, in Canada and all that, or America and UK and whatever. It was until like the 1950s that the avocados became more of a prevalent item, in the markets, So people didn't even know what avocados were until then. And then them times too, the pit was so large, and the fruit, the fat was so skinny too, that I guess crossbreed until it's more of like a, bigger and Haas avocados now, or whatever avocados they have now, so yeah. But to slow down to pretty much speed up your elimination, eat fruits, slow it down, have a green juice or salads. But of course, read the Mucusless Diet Healing System by Professor Arnold Arid, annotated, revised, and edited by Professor Spira. That's what we will do, and definitely talk to a practitioner as well after you read the book as well too. That helps a lot as well too. And reading Professor Spira's videos as well too. Watching his videos too. Help a lot. Most definitely. And like Dr. Morris is definitely one guy as well. But but this is more about what, like the rice?
Oh,
back in the rice or what? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, back on the same, babe?
Oh. All I have to say is help the body aid itself, clean out itself, because it's been years, decades of obstruction, so salads for sure, like get on those salads.
Yeah, I'm talking about that too still.
Okay, this is like really
it's too close. I was holding it kind of like weird, so like I was holding like Zoe and like you at the same time, like. Yeah. Like, what kind of salads though? Like just lettuce and that's it, or like?
I mean, I would. What's that called? It's called the eliminating like lifestyle. You would take out something. Like for me, I started with dairy. I took out dairy because I was lactose intolerant.
We all are.
Yes.
We're not baby cows. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah. Basically, the blood that is going through us is gunky, and we need clean blood because it goes throughout the whole body, from the toes to the brain, you know? And I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, we need a clean body.
Yeah.
It's definitely true. And a lot of people don't realize just how built up our body is. Because if our body was truly clean, and especially this for a lot of the, alkaline, sebiites, and, whatever you call them and all that too. Because,
I think just health conscious
people. Oh,
folks,
yeah. I guess,
know.
yeah. Because, it's different. It differentiates sometimes too. But I feel it's kind of our like target audience per se, it's kind of like that. Because like a lot of people won't eat at all seedless grapes, even though they're living in like Alaska and that's all they can get. They're not eating no food at all because they can't. It's like, oh, you know what? It's not on Sebi's list, so we're not eating no food at all. And it's like, nah, do what you gotta do. We use seedless limes, all right? We eat seedless table grapes. We know all this stuff here is GMO, but guess what? Our bodies can handle that. Think about someone that drinks alcohol, right? For years, they can handle it, right? But when someone new comes to the scene, they can handle it at all, because their body's like so, like, I guess pure in that sense that like it reacts to it and rejects it right away. It's like nope, I'm gonna eliminate this right now. But for that alcoholic that's been drinking for years, it's gonna get stored up, and result into a latent disease, So when later on, it's gonna go with this boom and just boom, got liver cancer now or something like that,
Yeah, and I have to say, for being fixated on minerals and vitamins and whatnot, like that's based off of
it's like Western allopathy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like the meat industry, like that's what they've been selling.
Oh yeah.
To us.
It's a hustle, guys. It's a hustle.
And that's why there's vitamin stores like everywhere. Like
people are still sick.
Exactly.
Taking their selenium, taking their cod liver oil, taking their magnesium, taking their sunflower seeds for estrogen, pumpkin seeds for testosterone, all that kind of jazz. We know all that kind of stuff. A good bulk of it.
Yeah, like don't get lost in that, because right now what we need to do is cleaning out the body, because the body is not able to receive any of those nutrients that we're seeking, vitamins and minerals.
And the one like true nutrient is the breath, is air.
Yes.
Like we alchemize air into what a body needs when a body's at a clean, super clean, pure state. But as of right now, we gotta go a little more denser and whatnot. And fruits and vegetables is what we need to do. Fruits and green leafy starchless vegetables. That's what our body uses to alchemize, Like a cow can use grass. A cow does not need sea moss, doesn't need selenium capsules, doesn't need, his herbal capsules and whatnot, just grass. To alchemize that to what it needs for his body. And for the baby too.
Yeah. So what we need to focus on is cleaning out the body. That way the body can receive that air, can receive that sunlight, can receive in general, other than...
And regenerate itself fully. Because, it's constipated. The body is constipated. So the cellular regeneration process is constipated, all right? Like, long story short. So, like, let's say, you want to heal faster and whatnot. You got to clean the gunk out. Don't try and, add more things to the body. But take things out. A lot of folks will get sick and want to eat more. And you got to actually eat less or eat lighter, That's how we heal our bodies. It's actually eating lighter and eating less. And also eating in a strategic, transitional way as well, too.
Yeah. A systematic way of eating. But yeah, clean out the body. I gotta say, you're afraid of enemas, have laxative teas. Have those laxatives, Eat fruits. Some people...
Juicy fruits.
Okay.
Eat juicy fruits.
Some people can be so obstructed when eating fruits, so asking someone to eat fruits can be also detrimental as well, because they can be so obstructed.
Yeah.
So, keep up with your green juices, keep up with your water, keep up with your salads, brush out that obstruction. You know, you gotta poo that out. You don't want that in you. You know, that's what creates anxiety. Like, that's the recirculation of poisons in our body, you know, and that's why we go through, like, headaches, anxiety, depression, all these hormonal imbalances, you know?
Yeah, it's just like dysfunction in general, dis-ease, you know? Like, I mean, like, this relates to just, like, the chaos in the world is, you know, it's just so exaggerated, you know? Like, violence shouldn't be at this, like, rate. You know, you see video games, it's just pure violence or something like that, you know? Like, it's at a point where we can't even fathom, like, a world with, like, that's just, with just serenity, like, you know?
And you would never assume that someone who, like, just shot up a school, you know, probably haven't taken a shit for weeks, maybe a month, you know? Like, they probably had 3 shits that whole month. Like, people don't see the correlation with it.
Yo, I kind of like, if I was going to premeditate me shooting the whole school up, my colon going to be tight. You know, I'm going to be tight the whole day. I'm going to be tight. Just, you know, just back in the locker room, ready to go down. I'd be tight.
Yeah, like,
right, so?
And the revolution really starts with us, you know, with us as individuals. That way we can come together and not be, like, pieces of shit, because we all are, you know, a walking cesspool, you know, no one is exempt from this.
Nope, not at all.
Know?
We are not fully cleaned out whatsoever. If we were cleaned out, we wouldn't eat food at all. If we were so cleaned out, we couldn't even tolerate seedless grapes. We couldn't even tolerate eating cooked food in the first place. The mere fact you can tolerate eating raw nuts or cooked foods or seedless grapes, or, you know, it's GMO here, but we still eat it anyways and be fine, that shows the amount of encumbrance inside our bodies, you know? If we're so cleaned out, we'll be breatharian, as they would call it. That's how you know you're cleaned out.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
And I gotta say, like, us being, like, hungry every half an hour, which I totally get, like, we do it out of, like, habit, you know? Like, we're just eating just to eat, you know?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're eating just to eat, but really, I feel like that's the
my bad size.
Really, I feel like that's the body being like, yo, I need to get the shit out of me. You need to eat. You need to eat. But what we do is eat stickier foods, you know, that the body needs to eliminate, you know, and not in a graceful way, you know, like, we're sweating, our heart's pounding, like, you know, like, we feel like we're having a heart attack and all of that, you know, like, it's not graceful. So when we do eat, we have to think about what we're actually doing to our bodies. Is this going to help my body eliminate well, you know, or am I just eating for fun, you know? You know, that's part of it. Like, the body, like, in that habit, it just wants to clean out house.
I mean, pretty much the name of the game is not to get all the minerals inside you, all the trace minerals inside you. This should not be our primary concern. Our primary concern for our body in the state of 2020 right now should be to get all the obstruction out of our bodies, pretty much. Food comes in, comes all the way out. A lot of us will be eating certain foods, like rice, for example, where when it goes through the alchemical process in our bodies of metabolism, it's going to leave behind this slimy, gooey residue. It's going to kick up against our walls of our blood vessels, our colon, intestines, etc. You know? And then the more that happens, the diameter of our piping system gets less and less and less. So you're still pooping crap out, even though you're eating steaks and fish and shrimp and chips and all that, but you're just kicking up the walls. So then when someone has a natural death, quote unquote, you notice that that person was just so gunked up that where it was gunked up, that part couldn't breathe. The cells there couldn't breathe at all because no air can penetrate there at all in the first place. Also, hence why people get more paler and sicker, to get more paler when they are sick. Some people are literally born, their lineage it's so concentrated in their cells that they look pale and get lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter. You know, that's a sign of sickness. You know, in a lineage. You know, Arnold Ehret. This is a white German scientist healer guy. You know, he said it in his book in Germany in German. Okay, so it's not from us, primarily, but you know, it's there. You know, and
we've applied the knowledge in order to be like, yo.
Exactly.
He's right.
And and the more cleaner our body gets, the darker we get. The more shades of darkness we get. Cause right now, you can see right now, my skin color right now is also a result of seeing my blood, you know, oxidizing, or we can say rusting. That's why someone that's cleaner he said in the book of Rational Fasting, right? Oh, real quick, for parasites, pretty much, we talk primarily about mucus. Parasites can only exist because they cling onto mucus.
Yeah.
Toxins, old drugs, bacteria, etc., clings onto mucus. Without that mucus, parasites will just come right out. Okay? So that's why our primary concern is mucus. Oh, sorry. Is that better?
Oh.
Yeah. Should I repeat that?
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay, let's.
Is this better now?
Rewind. Okay.
My hand's on a mic. I don't know where mic's at though. But
yeah, it's under here.
Under there? Okay,
yeah.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, keep that whole phone crazy. But yeah.
Yeah, I was basically saying that we're eating to eliminate. You know, like our body gets hungry every half an hour because it wants to get rid of trash. You know, junk, pasty, sticky
parasites,
shit. You know,
mucus,
yeah,
toxins.
Parasites. Nastiness, you know, out of us. And that even comes out when it's not coming out like through a bowel movement or sweat or tears. That comes out through like our emotions, and that comes out through our attitude, and that comes out through the way we talk to people, you know, like we're just like, I don't have patience for you right now, you know, like that's our body being irritated, and like even with anger, like that's our body heating up to get rid of shit, you know, and
it really is.
Like detox. Sorry,
like, I'm gonna put a little shade still.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Because like me and her, you know, we'll wake up and be eating just eat fruits until like 2:00, and like we'll notice emotional change. At some point, it's like, okay, you're annoying. Like, what? And it's an argument now. It's like, wait a minute. Okay, you know what? Let's have a green juice. Like, and we feel better now. Let's go outside as well too, and you know, so it's a holistic approach as well too. And like we noticed, like, wow, there's a direct correlation with foods. This the other day, you know, we were arguing over cookies because you know we all got our own, you know,
I have my
shadow work, don't call it and all that, you know, and yeah. So we went to the store, and she wanted cookies, right? And I was like. You know what about because it's living, right?
Right.
And all that kind of stuff, right? I fine, get it.
I need to be checked too, you know? The way I check my friends and family, I get checked too, you know?
And then later, I pull up the cookies, right? Check the ingredients, you know, and whatnot. I look, I'm like, what? Rice flour? Yeah. I'm like, nah, hell no.
That's why we threw it.
And then she got upset emotionally because she's in her head. Mind you, we still have ate only fruits at this time. We're still on just fruits.
Yeah.
So just to give you a physiological breakdown of what's going on mentally and psychologically, is that when you eat just fruits, all that debris and toxins is getting stirred up and shooken up, almost like a snow globe almost. You know, so all that debris is getting moved around. So that debris is now repoisoning the bloodstream and repoisoning the nervous system as well too, repoisoning the neurological system as well too, right? So we're trying to say you're gonna be more moodier during the detox and all that jazz. Yeah. So we're going through that while we're trying to battle cookies and all that, because cravings are going all crazy and whatnot.
My cravings were.
Yeah.
And that checking myself, you know, like I realized that that's my body trying to slow down the elimination. Mm-hmm. You know, like it's like okay, pause. Mm-hmm. Like you've done enough. Yeah, you've done enough. Yeah. Right? That sweet, gooey, baked, you know.
But see, that's where the system. That's where the system comes in though. Where it's okay, I'm craving right now cookie, and let's break down to textures and taste. Okay, so I'm craving right now sweet and chewy. Okay. Let me try to eat some medjool dates then. That's sweet and chewy. that should satiate my craving right now enough to have a salad and then maybe some like, you know, cooked pumpkin or something like that, and you know, a transitional meal to slow it down in a green juice, you know? And that's kind of the art of transitioning, you know? Like that's how we, you know, that's kind of a systematic approach of cleansing the body out, rather than just fruit all day. Oh man, you're too dense. Just breathe it out. Just breathe it out. And that's, you know, it's, you know, you can breathe it out, but this is so sticky and gunky. It's hard to do this fire breath and to get out this gunk. You gotta have, you know, like a energy exchange of external, you know, items to put back inside your body, like lemons and fresh fruits and whatever to clean it out, you know. But yeah, so that was one example. And but today was with the patties too. We did the patties as well. You know, the vegan patties. But you know, it's a long story. But you know, it's the same principle pretty much.
Yeah, guys. Don't buy food emotionally.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything is emotional, but like, and that's part of the system. The Mucusless diet healing system. That's what it talks about. You know, like how to slow things down. You know, like, like how to have a salad. You know, after having fruits. You know, at a certain point. You know, like end with a salad.
Mm-hmm. And next thing too as well is that, because a lot of fruitarians, right? We know a lot of fruitarians, they would, you know, eat all fruits, and then 2-3 years later, some, you know, ate some fish now. Like for example, Dr. Robert Morris, after eating 5 years on just 2, 3, or 5 years on just eating just pure organic oranges, and oranges are pretty aggressive for elimination, you know, for the detox. It's like lime, lemon, grapefruit, and orange, you know, so orange is like a bronze medal for the detox, okay? And after 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years, I forgot how long exactly, he ate some fish, okay? So he went from that alkaline food to that acidic pus forming food, because in air system that's considered pus, okay? That's dead blood cells. That's an item already in a partly decomposed state, okay? So when you go from that spectrum, your body's just getting a jerk, you know? So he was bedridden for a couple of days after doing that stunt, because he did not properly transition from oranges, you know, to a cooked food item. But because his cravings just exploded so hard that all that decade-old gunk before he was vegan, you know, that's connected to his neural system, was just like, oh man, back in the day, man, when I had those mackerel and tuna sandwiches and whatnot, like those, like that encumbrance was speaking to him, you know, in his mind, and just boom, you know, those are the cravings, all right?
And that's because we haven't cleaned that out of us yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. True. So
yeah, it's as simple as that, and that's why it's all about the transition. Like we can't, you know, go cold turkey just like that. You know, like even Dr. Sebi, like he.
Oh yeah.
Was still eating fish.
Yeah, he ate fish too. Yeah.
Even though he was fasting and whatnot, and I get it, you know, and
don't forget too, he was bedridden most of his fast too.
Mm-hmm.
And we know other practitioners of the Mucusless digestion system, they would fast longer than him, but they're not bedridden. Reason why, he wasn't doing any enemas during his fast to keep the waste moving out, but instead it was just repoisoning his bloodstream, so he's on the bed getting poisoned and just actually damaging himself, you know, actually too. Yeah. And yeah, there's so many examples of that too as well, you know, people doing that kind of stuff, you know, because you gotta realize, a lot of us, I'm in this, my current physical vessel, I'm like 26 right now, okay, I've been plant-based for like, since like maybe like 3 or 4 years now or something like that, and I'm just now, I'm almost a year now practicing the Mucusless living, which is totally different anyways, but I have at least 2 decades of eating just processed foods, meat,
and
meat lovers pizza,
eating
everything, you know? So like that's still inside me. So I'm like, am I even really vegan in that case? Like,
yeah,
it's still inside me. You see my Instagram, you know, page, you know, Ziggy_Indigo, you know, and like you'll see the shit I get out of me, you know, on a stick, and like it's in all of us too, you know. And this is not like this is not vegan, but some of it is vegan too, because there's also a level to it as well too, where there's vegan mucus forming foods as well too, like avocado and brown rice and the spelt flour. The spelt flour is a next one, man, where people really get caught up on that, because I heard
beans.
Yeah.
What else? White potatoes.
White potato too. Yeah, that's a big one. Like beans are better. Like, it depends how you use it. You gotta really be careful with these kind of items though. But us personally, we don't eat beans at all anymore, pretty much. Like at some point, I don't know exactly when, but we just kind of like, the cleaner we get, even though it's 1% cleaner, like certain food items just kind of like you just can't really tolerate anymore, or you don't got a palate for it anymore. Cause like, when your body's cleaning out and the magic mirror, your tongue gets white coating when you fast and all that. That's that white coating's also in your esophagus, intestines, and all that. And like, reason why we crave these mucus forming foods because our tongue's so full of mucus that it craves it. The cleaner our body is, the less we'll want to eat Burger King or Impossible Burger or even cooked foods in the first place. I'm just, it's crazy. What are your thoughts of drinking lots of water a day? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Definitely do that, Make sure you do it in a rational way too, like eat your food and don't drink any water between your meals too. Like eat the whole meal or whole salad, whatever, fruit, whatever, whole salad. Then wait a few minutes, like 15 minutes at least, to half an hour to an hour. Then drink your liquids, And that's definitely good. And sometimes though, like having a little bit of lemon juice might help, rather than just water. It depends on like, your current circumstance as well too, But yeah, it's definitely good to do, like most definitely. But like, yeah, I want to talk about that spelt flour stuff though, man, because I know that I guess the sebi's list pretty much. The sebi's list, it definitely helps a lot of people, especially, but a lot of us, the food items on it are mucus forming and are not even alkaline in the first place. They're not alkaline. It's no problem. There's no way, first of all, cooked foods can be alkaline.
I can't help but be like, it's all about the transition. And yes, he may not talk about the transition like that. Well, from what I've heard, I haven't really looked up into him much. Anyways, for me, I totally respect it, because I believe in the transition. Like, this is a transition, and for example, like...
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
And I can't knock it, I'm like, it's the transition.
I can knock it a little bit, but overall, like, it's still definitely, like, it's a step up, for sure.
Yeah.
But, like... I just feel like there's traps, though.
Eating meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, but I feel like...
But, for example, though, we know as well, too, sometimes breads can be even worse than meat.
Constipating.
Yeah, or white potato can be worse than meat, where the meat eater will live longer than a starch eater. The starch vegetarian eater. And the reason why is because that starch vegetarian eater, the vegetarian that's eating like white potatoes and stuff like that, they're usually overeating and they're more gunked up than a meat eater because they're eating less, So that's kind of why, with a sebi's list, a lot of these alkaline vegans will kind of crutch hardcore on a spelt flour and even spelt flour this, spelt flour that, spelt flour this, spelt flour, a little bit of avocado, and maybe some like brown rice, whatever, and that's a lot of mucus forming foods too, right? And I feel like like we gotta kind of like we can do better than that, pretty much. Like instead of the brown rice, have some like chopped like salad, whatever it's called, green salad instead, and have your like chickpea stew, whatever, and then like some yeah.
Because we were there, you know, we so there. I'm just like,
yeah, we
like
there.
This is part of the transition. Like they will eventually like be like, oh, Arnold Air, what's that about? Okay, cool. Let me try this. Like I feel like that's part of the transition, and like, like for instance, like I can't be mad at the system. Like we gotta transition out of it. Like
yeah, it's
what.
True.
Like it's there for
still
a
watching
reason.
anime and shit like that, I'm still living my little good pleasures and whatnot, whatever.
Like, yeah, so I feel like I can't knock people's hustles.
I mean, I'm just trying to critically analyze it, like
okay, sorry.
I feel like I gotta speak up about it regardless, like if I see hey and like something and you ain't doing something right, I gotta check you on it, to some degree. And yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Still, like, regardless, that some folks might just skip that whole thing, go straight to fruit, anyways.
Exactly.
You know, because because even Dr. Morse, he just goes, okay, 40-day grape fast.
Yes.
Eat just grapes, 40 days. And you just finished eating just
meat,
flour tortillas.
Oh, okay.
And avocado and a sea moss smoothie or something. And
I
some
feel like
rice.
meat is also like a detriment as well. Like that is part of the transition compared to me. Like from one extreme to the next, like from eating rotten flesh to eating pure alkaline fruits and vegetables, and it's just like
because
where's the transition?
Because a lot of times our mind is ready for it, but our body is not.
Yeah.
So we're just dragging our bodies through it the whole time. Our body's like, oh my god, there's so much right now. And that
headaches, like you're like on the floor, like I feel like I'm gonna die.
She see me back in the day trying to drive fast, and I did the urine therapy thing and all that. I'm trying to flipping apple cider vinegar shot while dry fasting or some shit.
Fruitarian. I'm only gonna eat mangoes my whole life.
And just
I'm like,
and I couldn't sustain it because I'm just no. Yeah, so definitely that transition is definitely important because a lot of people just don't really eat salads. I notice a lot of people don't eat salads that are vegan. So I feel like we really need to eat salads as a main meal every time. We'll be eating back in the day, we would eat white potatoes and spelt flour biscuits and remember what else we have? Kind of spelt flour pizza. And,
spelt flour is life.
Spelt flour cinnamon rolls and spelt flour bagels and spelt flour cake.
Airplanes.
Spelt flour pancakes.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry guys. I'm just
chickpea pancakes.
Yeah.
No
spelt flour
salads.
Everything.
No salads. And it's like.
Oh, that is not true.
Oh yeah, we had salads. I mean, we did our raw days too. And then even in the raw days, we did raw burgers. And raw pizza. I'm like, damn, we're still eating pizza and burgers still? I'm like, woman, how can I get us eating pizza and burgers? I don't want to die soon. I'm just like, so there's a lot of traps, so the whole eating just raw is you gotta be careful with mucus forming foods. But it's definitely a transition, and we gotta eat less mucus forming foods. For example, let's say for starches, white potato is the worst starch possible. Or cassava and is the worst starch possible. But a better starch alternative would be sweet potato. You ever had sweet potato fries or chips and they're a lot less softer and squishier and more kind of softer and all that? It's because it got less of that sticky, gluey property content inside it, And it eliminates way better than white potato or green banana as well too. The next one would be pumpkin or butternut squash or acorn squash or spaghetti squash. These are a lot better starches. And in fact, they're 95% mucusless. Buckwheat flour.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely harken on a lot of flour right now, but it's a transition, so, just definitely be mindful of it. And for flours too, for us, right, for our grain addiction, we eat toast, right? Reason why toast, and we eat sprouted whole wheat Ezekiel bread toast to be exact, right? And reason why we use toast and not bread is because when you toast out the bread, you're cooking out most of the mucus out of it, and then you can eat that, and it's a lot less mucus forming and better to eliminate than eating just bread by itself. Because if you're make bread or make any flour, it's very sticky and slimy, and you on your hands, and you gotta kind of wash your hands after and all that jazz. So you gotta really cook it out. So if you can make it in some kind of toast format, buckwheat flour or spelt flour, whatever, that'd be a lot better. Where basically it's not sticky. Where if you bend it any way, it snaps. That's good. If you bend it and it still keeps shape, basically any food that keeps shape into a burger, it should be it should be transitional, and you shouldn't be eating it the rest of your life. Eventually, the more you clean your body out, you'll eventually get rid of that. You can't hold a burger patty with mango or broccoli or just celery, But you can, if you add a little flour in it though, now you can hold it because it's sticky, So definitely Bouquet flour is a lot better than the white flour and all that. And, you know, we got to slowly transition off of it, you know?
Yeah, and this is not going to take this lifetime. This is going to take generations.
Humble. Yeah,
you know, like,
really
you can do whatever your heart desires, but I'm telling you, it's all about the transition. Because you don't want to, like, you want to be able to be like, you know, I don't want this. I don't want this. You know, I don't need this. You know, rather than, like, with me, with a cookie, you know, like, I was just like, man, I know I don't need this, but, like, I want this. you know? Yeah. And that was my body, you know, calling out to slow down the elimination. You know, so like we want to be able to clean our bodies out. That way we're no longer craving junk, you know, and mucus and pus and all of that, you know, like we want to be able to do that, you know, and that's why the transition is so important.
So important. It's all about transition. It's all about it.
Yeah.
like for your life. How long to transition from, you know, from this to whatever, your goal? Your whole life, at least.
Yeah. And
but like, I want to say too, because I know me personally, if I was alone, I'll go a lot faster. But going with her, I'm gonna go a lot farther. You know. And it took a while to like kind of realize that, like, man, before, man, you always hold me back. I'm trying to go raw. I'm trying to eat only fruits. I'm trying to fast. Da 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 da. And I was just like, you know, I'll get upset, you know. And I realized, you know, after a while, like, wow, like the meals I'm making with her that are transitional with her are so more compelling to everyone else. Like, the way I eat, you know, not everyone can eat like that, you know? Like, but like with her creative ideas and whatnot with these meals, it's like, yo, it's so much more appealing as well too, you know? And like, you can reach out to more people as well too, like doing that. So like in later generations as well too, it'll be easier. We'll see more people like on the same wave, and like we can like go to like, you know, I don't know, Zimbabwe or something. Like, oh, you're vegan guy, cool man. I'm vegan too, man. You know, yeah, I know Sharma as well too. You know, like it's a better network. You know, when we kind of go slow and like we can relate to people as well too, and like, you know, on the way to the top. You know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because this isn't a race.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like emphasize this, but this is not a race. You need to respect your body. You know, like we've abused our bodies so much, and you can see it when you clean out your body, like how much you've abused it, you know? And then we wonder why we attract abuse, you know? And it's like you can see it in the world, you know? And especially with black people. I mean, black people, highly melanated people, you know, the fact that we attract, not everyone, but like, we attract it like worldly, you know, like this abuse, like even mentally, it doesn't have to be physically, you know, or emotionally, like how people will make you feel in a room. They don't have to put their hands on you kind of thing. But like that kind of abuse I'm talking about, we've been abusing our bodies, like, with mucus, and like we were talking about with the blood.
Even our kids too, and babies as well too.
Yes, but by abusing ourselves, we abuse others, you know? And that's why I say, like, we attract abuse, you know? And it shows in the bloodlines. For example, like we were just saying how mucus and pus forming foods dehydrate the body. They constipate the body, where the body cannot breathe. So then that's how people become lighter, you know, like because the blood is becoming filled with mucus, you know, like we were saying, when someone's sick, they look pale.
The skin pores. Like,
exactly.
You see someone that's more lighter complexion, like let's say they hold their breath, like the face will go red. That's their blood. Like, you're seeing their blood, or you'll see their veins. You see like blue and green veins and all that. Like, cause literally their skin is transparent, where you can see like their blood more of them. And like, you know, it's for us too. And our blood is just more rusted. it's more oxidized. Our blood is breathing more, you know. Hence why when blood hits hits oxygen, it turns red. You know, that's the oxidization which we're talking about right now. So if someone gets cut and they're cleaner and they're eating cleaner and whatnot, as soon as that cut happens, it will just scab up faster. Because as soon as it hits the air, it will oxidize. But if it's full of mucus, it'll not oxidize as fast, and you'll bleed out more. You know, and also that too, as far as your skin pores and whatnot, your skin will look more paler as well too, because the mucus is clogging up the skin cells, so you're creating an insulation for the sunlight to get into your body, you know, and help alchemize.
Yes, and that's how we have abused ourselves generationally, you know, highly melanated people.
Black, white, brown, all people.
Yes. Yes, from actually being in tune with nature, we have abused nature, which is ourself, you know, like, and the fact that we can't even accept nature, like I was saying, how people can be so obstructed they can't have fruits, you know, without feeling like they're having a heart attack. You know, I have been there, you know.
She was today, actually.
Yeah. It wasn't today.
Today?
No.
It's 2 days in a row now, you know. I'm like, okay, cool. How many juice? Oh, I see. Now you're fine now. I told you. There you go.
Yeah.
So to you later.
I'm really gross inside. I'm kidding.
I'm on uric acid time.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you're the book, you're the joke, you know.
Yeah, like I know I look like really healthy and all, but
yeah,
I'm filthy inside.
even Arnold Ehret said too that 60% of people that claim they're healthy would actually be be harmed during a long fast. You know, so yeah, take that in. And people have died in the past doing a super long fast. You know, because they ate. One guy was in the book, right? Was a heavy meat eater. Then did like a 18-day fast, right? Pretty long. All right, and then he broke that fast eating dates. What happened is that the dates pretty much created such a strong fermentation in the body that's already full of gunk and whatnot that his belly just like expanded from the carbonic gases being created from the fermentation of the already obstruction already inside the body, where he just like I guess it pretty much bursted pretty much and he died, you know. The next guy was a heavy vegetarian starch eater. He did a long fast as well too, like 29 days or something like that, whatever. And then his intestines are more or less empty, right? Then what happened was pretty much, let's say this is your intestines, he ate white potato. So then when I was traveling through this part intestine, it went like that. Then he got surgery, got a piece of it taken out, and shortly after he passed away. You know, so that's why these long fasts are just don't do long fasts. I know people will be like, hey man, 21-day water fast cleanse or 7-day water fast. It's like, you know what? Slow down. Hit the 2 or 3 day mark. In fact, me personally, where I'm at, I do like 1 meal a day. That's like me trying to go extreme right now. It's 1 meal a day. I'm taking the transition slowly. So there's like the skip breakfast, don't eat till 12 o'clock. That's a fast right there. That'll cure a lot of dis-ease alone right there. So set it in the book too. Then the next step would be like 1 meal a day, you know? And after that, 24-hour fast, 36-hour fast. Then after that, 2 or 3 day fast, you know? But for all these steps, you should like wear it out till it's nothing. And then you'll naturally just be like, oh, I haven't eaten today either. Okay, been 2 days now, I think I haven't eaten. 3 days now? Okay, whatever. You know, like, you know, I should probably eat now. Or I should probably eat now. It's like, you know, you'll systematically, you know, detox rather than just, okay, 40-day water fast. Let's do it. It's like Jesus. Let's get it. You know, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, you don't do that. Like, you don't do that stuff, man. Like, a lot of people, because Sebi was talking about that. He's like, me, I fast. 12 days? 12 days is good. 16 days is good. Like, I'm gonna start a Sebi. He locked his mother in like a
the live is gonna end in 24 minutes. If you guys want to join again, you know,
Yeah, we'll save it and upload it, you know? So yeah, man, it's all good. Just getting a little talk out.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, see you later. Wholeness in darkness.